Good evening. Welcome to our finance team webinar. My name is Lorene McLeod, and I'm the finance team captain. You are indeed in for a treat as we showcase three fine speakers: Karen Foster, Pauline Giscombe, and Oprah Price. But first, I want to welcome our finance team director, Oprah Jean Price, my co-team captain, Anna Tutt, my team members, chamber members, and of course, our guests. We have a complete agenda, so I'm happy to turn over the mic for brief remarks to Anna Tutt, who will be talking to us a little bit about the chamber. Anna?
All right. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for welcoming everyone. We want to thank you for attending the financial team today. And you know what? I hope you're ready because you're going to get a plethora of information today from the financial team. These speakers today are just amazing, but the information is even better. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Now, we are not your average chamber. Let me tell you, we are not your average chamber. You come to the chamber, you are going to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, in your business, financially. Every component that you can think of, the chamber covers. We have our Hope Foundation, where we're helping other people every day in the community. We're out doing outreach. We have our faith team, where they're sharing and they're empowering our members and encouraging our members and our community. We have a travel club. Yes. When I say every component of your life the chamber covers, that's what we do. We go on trips together. And you know what that does? We bond and we get close and we learn and we know about each other. And you know what's even special? When you learn the people that you are working with, you want to do business with them, right? We also have, what did I leave out? We got the financial team. So we got so many people that bring a wealth of knowledge on our financial team to help you build wealth. And that's what we need, because no one taught us how to build wealth, right? No one taught us how to about financial literacy, how to use our money, how to have our money make money for us, right? So we are just so excited. I think I left out something because it's just so many things that we do at the chamber. But let me tell you, you got to have your roller skates on when you're with the chamber, because you know what? We are always on the move. Always on the move. So, lasouthchamber.com. Go to our website so you can follow along, because I don't think I had on the right roller skates to tell you everything that we do, because I can't keep up with them sometimes. So, don't be a stranger. Join the LA South Chamber. If you want more information, reach out to any of us and we will definitely share. But this is the chamber that's going to help you. Remember, going to help you grow spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. Oh my gosh, where else can you go to get it? So I'm gonna bring up Lorraine back up and she's gonna talk more, but we about to get into this webinar. You about to be excited. We about to go to another level, but thank you for joining once again. And thank you, because what? It's time to level up your finances. Lorraine,
Thank you.
come on
Thank
back.
you. Thank you, Anna. I don't know about you guys, but she certainly had my blood pumping. Yeah, Anna is such an exciting speaker. So just before we delve into the presentation from our first speaker, there are a couple of housekeeping tips that I want to share with you. So we're going to have 3 presentations, and obviously during the presentations, I'm quite certain that some of you will have questions that you want to ask. What we're asking you to do is to write those questions down in the chat or on a piece of paper, because later on in the program, after all the presentations have been done, we have a question and answer session. And so at that time, the speakers will be addressing the questions that you want to ask. Okay, so we're going to be just moving along. We're going to have the first speaker, then the second speaker, then the third speaker. Then we're going to have question and answer sessions. So I just want to make sure that if a question pops up, notate it in the chat or write it down, because you're going to have a good opportunity to have those questions asked and answered. So at this moment, I would like to just move immediately to introducing our first speaker, our first presenter, and that is my friend Karen Foster. So let me tell you about Karen. Where is Karen? There's Karen. Okay. So Karen Foster is a highly accomplished professional with 27 years of extensive experience across real estate and the finance industries. Her career is marked by deep expertise in real estate, finance, and wealth building strategies. She's also an accomplished author and has shared her knowledge in two significant works: 7 Ways to Build Generational Wealth and Passive Income, and an ebook, Securing Your Financial Future. These publications underscore her dedication to equipping individuals with strategies for financial success and security. Karen's practical contributions are equally impressive. She serves as a mortgage loan originator with AmeriFund and a commercial advisor with eXp Commercial. Additionally, she's a key member of our financial team, where she guides others towards achieving their financial aspirations. Karen's commitment to professional excellence and community involvement is further highlighted by her certification as a member of the Los Angeles South Chamber of Commerce, like most of you are here. That's cool. With her wealth of experience, valuable insight, and unwavering commitment to financial empowerment, Karen continues to be a significant force in the real estate and finance sectors, inspiring individuals to take control of their financial future and build lasting generational wealth. It is my great pleasure to pass the baton over to my friend Karen Foster.
Thank you, Lorraine, for that awesome introduction. Now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So my topic of discussion tonight is how to avoid probate. Bear with me. I am Karen Foster. My companies are AmeriFund Home Loans and eXp Commercial. I help clients build generational wealth and passive income through finance and real estate investments. Again, I need to minimize my speaker screen. Okay. This is a disclaimer. I am not an attorney, and the information provided here is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. It is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a qualified attorney. The contents are Understanding Probate, Probate 101, Intestate versus Trust and Will, Avoiding Probate, Trust Estate Planning Services. Understanding probate. Everyone has a will or plan, whether created or by default. Even if you don't have a will or trust, you still have a plan. A plan dictated by the laws of the state where you reside upon your death. Making a will does not avoid probate. The court procedure that changes the legal ownership of your property after your death. Probate makes sure it is your last valid will. Appoints an executor named in your will and supervises the executor's work. You can do several things now that can help your executor and your family later. Probate 101. In California, Probate 101 is the basic understanding of the legal process involved in transfer of inheritance of property after death. Court validation. The probate court validates the accuracy of deceased person's will or determines if they died without a will, intestate. Personal representative. The court appoints a personal representative, executor or administrator, to manage the estate's assets. Asset management. Personal representative responsible for collecting assets, payments of debts and taxes, and distributing all remaining assets to rightful heirs or beneficiaries. Notification, legal process. Probate court also handles notifying creditors, heirs, and other interested parties, and ensures the legal process follows established procedures. Court supervision. Probate proceedings are overseen by the probate court, which ensures transfer of property and assets is done according to law. Intestate versus trust and will. Intestate. You pass away without a will or trust or any estate plan, leaving your loved ones to face a difficult process to navigate. Will. Even with a will, your estate and assets must still go through probate. No will. In addition to time, cost, added stress, and grief for your loved ones, your assets will not end up where you want them to go. Trust. Trust bypass the public court supervised probate process. How to avoid probate. Trust offers several advantages in estate planning and asset management, including avoiding probate. A trust will ensure specific asset distribution and maintain privacy. Avoid the high cost of attorney's fees. Allows for quicker and simpler distribution of assets to beneficiaries. Flexibility in income distribution and tax planning. Allows for customized solutions tailored to specific family needs. Generational wealth. Trust and estate planning help maintain wealth preservation. Trust and estate planning services. We coordinate a full range of services. We partner with a reliable network of professional vendors, trusts, and estate planners. You don't have to navigate the process alone. Planning ahead will ensure peace of mind and protection for you and your family. Preserve your family's legacy for future generations. That is my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, very much. And
So we've come to this point.
if you have questions, please remember to write those down on a piece of paper or in the chat. Make use of the chat to do that. I think we have to mute. Yeah. So, okay. Thanks very much, Karen. And
welcome.
so at this time, Anna, has there been any questions that are in the chat box so far?
No, I only see excellent information, so no questions in the chat.
Okay. Um, I don't know, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the things that we're going to talk about later on is how many people have a will or have a trust, because it's really very important. And it can be very, very nerve-wracking if you don't have the proper legal documentation. If you know, a close member of your family dies. Opa has a lot of stories in our own family that would address a lot of the those situations that could happen if you have no will, have no trust, and then are involved in a probate process. So again, thanks very much, Karen. And I'm just going to move right along by introducing our next speaker, Pauline. Pauline Giscombe. Now, Pauline Giscombe is known as the Wall Street nurse by colleagues and clients alike. Indeed, she was a nurse educated in England. Pauline moved to America in 1996, and through a chance interaction with one of her patients, she became a student of Wall Street for over 20 years. That interaction was a life-changing experience for Pauline. Pauline is the first one to say that she's not a financial advisor. Rather, she sees herself as a Wall Street educator, mentor, and coach. Pauline obtained her financial education from the Wealth Academy in 1998. The Pacific Stock Exchange, she's a very hands-on person, as well as Forex training. I'm pleased to introduce Miss Pauline Giscombe. Pauline, the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. How can I love more? How can I maintain brain health? And how can I earn money to maintain an abundant life? I am Pauline Giscombe. I am a love, health, and wealth educator, mentor, coach, founder of Sunday Financial Freedom Day. The topic today would be how to recession-proof your life by learning how to grow, manage passive income of $10,000 a month by investing in stocks that pays dividends. The stock market is the greatest business on earth, but it's a subject just like studying law or medicine. But if you know Wall Street, you'll never have another dull moment in your life, and you'll always be able to earn money for the rest of your life. So many of us are worried about AI. We're likely to lose our jobs. Robots. You shouldn't be worried. You should be researching AI companies and invest in AI companies. Of course you will lose your job. The world is changing. A major problem we've had recently is tariffs. I wasn't worried about tariff. All I was concerned about is what companies could I invest in that has nothing to do with tariff. Tariff is about import, export, and about paying taxes. Do we pay taxes on water? Is that imported? Do we pay taxes on pollution? Waste management? These are the companies you should be looking at. Then there is war in Europe and also as well in the Middle East. If there is war, we should be busy researching defense companies. Because as long as life lasts, we'll always be thinking of defending yourself or investing in security companies, because there's so many scams that you must invest in companies that are security based and defense based. Creating wealth is a way of thinking. So if you really want to create wealth, you need to understand what is happening in your community. What is the problem? The problem is the aging population. Every day in America, 10,000 people turn 65. So if there is people turning 65, we should be looking forward to finding jobs in or investing in companies that are serving seniors. Pharmaceuticals. I'll name just one, Johnson & Johnson. Hip replacement, knee replacement. That's what you should be investing in. Pharmaceutical that is caring for people with hip replacement, knee replacements. Making money on Wall Street is about a way of thinking. Am I thinking about converting those dollar bills into money? When you actually buy stocks, you actually becoming a part owner of these companies. When you become a part owner of a company, if it pays dividend every 3 months or every month, they'll send you a check. So if you're investing in, let us say Costco, because everyone knows Costco. And Costco has done very well and pays a fabulous dividend. And if you're worried about you're going to be losing your money, you could go and visit Costco to see if they're closing down. But that's not the way. It's for you to be able to go to Costco website and read up about the things that they're doing. And one way that Costco makes a great deal of money is that every year, that annual fee. That produces a great deal of money. And just like how Costco gets in all these thousands of dollars, you can also be making lots of dividends by investing in these corporations and literally doing nothing. When I mean nothing, all your job is to keep on top of their sales, because everything is all about the sales. Are they making sales? So Costco, when last you went to Costco, have you noticed they're always very busy? So that's a clue that they're doing very well. My long-term goal is to educate you on how to think, convert information into money, and to literally build a family endowment very similar to Harvard University. The secret about wealth is you invest and you only spend the profits. So if you only spend the profits or you're only spending the dividend, you'll always have money. And that is the model of Harvard University and a diversified portfolio. So you never ever just simply put all your money in one company. You'll have pharmaceuticals, you'll have defense, you'll have recession-proof stocks, you'll have stocks that has nothing to do with tariff. Water, we'll always need water. We'll also need electricity to propel these AI companies. So once again, making money and creating wealth is a way of thinking. I am not an advisor. I'm educating you so you could take charge of your life. And you can always speak with your advisor, but you're not at their mercy. You could hold a conversation and you can follow and understand exactly what they're saying. So My goal is to educate you how to build, manage, and protect that portfolio that will provide you with $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month is just the start, because most homes could maintain a reasonable lifestyle with just $10,000 a month in dividend checks only. Thank you for spending time with me. Goodbye. That's the end of my talk today.
That was
That was amazing. Thank you,
Woo,
Pauline.
give her a hand.
Woo! Thank you, Pauline. So again, make sure that you utilize the knowledge that is being provided to you here by both Pauline and Karen, and ask questions. I'm pretty sure that, with Pauline talking about the importance of investing and talking about stocks and giving us ideas as to the sectors that we should be investing in, there should be a lot of you there that are like, how do I do it? What's the first thing that I do? How do I identify or know which are the best stocks to invest in? So make sure that you write questions down, because you've got this information coming to you unvarnished. This is the truth, and from very, very experienced individuals. Both of them are extremely experienced. So having said that, we will now turn it over to Anna, who is going to be introducing our final presenter of the day, Opa Jean Price. So
I'm over here
okay, Anna.
unmuting myself and muting myself. Lord have mercy. Get it together, Anna. Get it together. Hi, oh my goodness. So far, has this been amazing information? You done learned about probates and trusts. You done learned about what? Being a part owner of a company. Hello, hello, hello. And then what? Giving dividends. Oh my goodness. So put in the chat if this has been amazing thus far, because we are not done. We are not done. Put in the chat. I want to see that you guys are fired up and you are enjoying this information. I want to know. Okay, amazing. Great job, Pauline. Good job. Love convert information into money. Amazing. Well, we about to continue this financial road. I hope you are ready, because the next speaker, I know she better be ready. I see some fire in the chat. So that means Oprah got to come behind this and have some fire. So she better run to the stage with fire. Okay? So our next speaker, Jean Price, over 15 years of GTE. Jean has launched her own business in 1986, becoming a self-employed insurance agent. She later founded Insurance Solution Services, where she has served as a trusted insurance broker. And we know we need that, right, y'all? For over 35 years. So I think she know a little about some stuff about insurance. What y'all say? After 35 years, so she's been helping clients across California, Georgia, and Washington, protecting what matters most. Woo, let's drop the mic there. Jean is also a dedicated community leader, serving on the executive board of the Los Angeles South Chamber of Commerce. Her passion is integrity, commitment to service, continue to make an lasting impact. So Oprah, Jean, take it away. Are y'all ready? Put in the chat that you ready, because you better put your seatbelts on, get your pencils and your paper, because we finna get some insurance information. Let's go protect those assets. You on mute. Unmute yourself. You see you on fire so much that you can't even unmute yourself. Unmute
I
yourself,
can't even
girl.
unmute myself, okay? Well, thank you so much, Anna. That was a great introduction. And I am fired up, okay? And I hope you guys are fired up. Great information. Karen and Pauline brought it home. So we're going to talk about something that's really dear to my heart, and I'm sure it's dear to other people as well. The name of my business is Insurance Solutions, and I am going to speak tonight on maximize your retirement with tax-free income. How many of you guys are aware of tax-free income right now? You know how that works? Well, let me ask you this question. How many are retired right now on this webinar? Raise your hand. How many of you are thinking about retiring? And my next question is, are you ready to retire? That's my next question. Are you ready? Okay. Retiring on your terms means just what that says. It's important of setting retirement goals. And I'm kind of amazed at how many people that I come in contact with or I meet, and, you know, as well as in the school district, that a lot of people are not ready. They put it on the burner and say, I'll do it later. Okay. But lo and behold, 65 rolls around pretty fast. And when it does roll around, people are not ready. So I'm going to talk about choosing your retirement age and lifestyle, customizing retirement plans will fit your timeline and your values. In other words, these programs are designed to meet your needs, your budget, and your situation, but you are on target to retire the way you want to on your terms. Retirement payouts. I feel it's really important that you understand the distribution options. Are you going to do it in a lump sum investment, option to get your payout, or are you going to do periodic payout? Or there's some people that want every month payouts. Okay, a lot of them set up a pension where your pension is designed to actually pay you out every month. You want to create a reliable income stream. And I can truly tell you today, most of our pensions on our jobs, they don't make them like they used to. If they're not like they used to, they're quite different now. So your pensions on your job, whether you're self-employed, whether you are an entrepreneur, but if you work with someone else, they do provide a pension for you. Now, as far as them matching the pensions today, a lot of that's happening. So you're left up to have to create your own pension and make sure that those dollars are right for you when it is time for you to walk out of that door. So you want to create a reliable income stream. How payout choices affect the longevity and retirement income. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Next slide. Growth options are very important to me. That means that I want to make sure that my money is growing. I want to make sure the program that I have chosen is actually increasing and it's not stagnating. Most people out there will choose to invest in certain programs, whether, for security. A lot of them will test the market. That means that you want to invest in, something on the market. And a lot of people want safe growth. They want options versus aggressive strategies. And I can tell you with retirement, that is not something you really want to play in the market with. I call it the casino. Okay. So next slide. Typically, you want to know your expected pension amount. And, this is really sad because most of us, right now are returned out even knowing what you're going to be paid. And I'm sure you know someone that walked out that door and said, well, I didn't know I was going to get this. I thought it was going to be more. I didn't expect this. And you know what that happens is because we failed to monitor what our retirement is doing. We didn't do the checkpoints, and we just assumed that company was going to take care of us. And that has not been happening over the last 20, 35, 40 years. So knowing that your 403B, and this is really designed for teachers, it is designed for educators, nonprofits, and government workers. Employer matching and contribution limits do apply, benefits and tax deferred growth. So that's what a 403B, and you'll find that most of your teachers, your PERS and your STIRS will have these type of programs. If you work for the government, that's what you have. Okay, so you still need to monitor that program. 401k plans are traditionally versus IRA, Roth, or 401k. Those are pre-tax contribution employee match programs, which is required minimum distribution. We'll talk, RMDs are later on in life, you get in your 70s, then some of those programs will require you to take money out of there. So you want to know what your expected pension amount is and what is going to be required of you down the road. Okay? Know your expected pension amount too. The Roth IRA plans, after-tax contributions or tax-free withdrawals, income limits are on these programs, and contribution caps. There are no RMDs on these particular programs. Greater flexibility when it comes to retirement. Minimize market risk, and I just talked about that a little bit. The impact of market volatility is on retirement savings, strategies to protect your principal, whether it's bonds, fixed annuities, or cash equivalent programs. Dollar cost averaging, asset rebalancing is important of adjusting the risk tolerance as you age. So, I'm one of those type of people that believe in, I don't put all my eggs in one basket. If you have money that you invest into the market, you should separate from your retirement. You do now, whether you're conservative or you're an aggressive investor, that's a whole different ball game. But this is just showing you some of the ways that you can invest your money and having different strategies on your investing. As an investor, I can't just leave my money for somebody else to monitor. And what I mean by that, I mean that if I'm investing into a product, I definitely want to know how that program is going. It is so unfortunate today because so many people do not monitor their programs. They have no idea if they 15 years down the road, if you're trying to take your money out of that program, you're going to pay a substantial price to do that. And on top of that, you're not watching the fact that you may be earning 1% on your money. And that is not good. So when you're investing, you want to make sure some of the programs, especially retirement, is getting adequate returns. So it's all about where you put your money and how you're monitoring that money. Is it growing for you? Because it's a sad thing to realize that you've left that money there 15, 20 years and you've only earned 1% on your money. And some people will say, I don't mind dealing with the money that's going up and down. But for you, and I talk to people all the time when the market is the way it is right now, they'll say, well, I just lost $15,000. That's not okay. Lost $15,000, but it's going to take you some time to build up that $15,000 you lost, plus more money. So that's not okay. But if you're okay with that, your retirement should be in one of those programs. Okay? Next slide, please. One of the best ways to use retirement, and I hear a lot of people, and I run into a lot of people, there's so many different life insurance programs out there. You've got whole life, but all of those plans are designed specific for needs. Whole life is really designed for final expense. And that means that person wants a little bit of money to cover their assets or cover their needs. And they may not have a family, they may not be married, they may not have children, and they're just looking to cover enough to protect what they have. So, hope is pretty much for that. Final expense is another one where you want to pay just for the needs to cover your funeral or, your home going. Index Universal Life, a combination. That means it's a combination of whole life. It's a combination of your term. I do term programs, do those for people that have a lot of assets. Maybe you own 2 or 3 pieces of property and you may want $1 million to $2 or $3 million policy. That's going to cover all of that. So term is good for that. But I focus a lot on the universal life plan because it accumulates more money. It accumulates a lot better. You have tax-free income when you get to take that money, depending on what program you're in. And those are some of the programs that are offered through our company. So I do a lot of those for retirement because the money is accumulating very well. And if you have a goal, when I say, look at your pension and make sure that you're getting all the dollars that you should be getting at retirement. Well, some of the companies out there, most people are thinking they're getting 100% of their pension. They're not getting 100% of that pension. And it's very sad to see that they're only going to get anywhere from 50%, 60%, maybe 70, but you're not getting 100%. So I try to show people how to that it's a gap. If I'm walking away from my job making $90,000 a year, I'm gonna be pretty upset to know that I'm gonna retire on 45,000. That's what I'm talking about. So you may be working on a job making 90, but you'll never walk away from that job with that kind of money. So that's why you want to do a check on your pen. The other programs you can get into are tax deferred annuities. They offer great interest rates, and they have bonuses on a lot of those programs. So the tax deferred growth and the compounded interest is what's going to give you the growth and the step up on the income. There's no annual contribution limits on a lot of these programs. You can access your funds without early withdrawal. That means in most of them, you can do 10% per year on those programs and pull money as you need it. And the penalties, you do have penalties on there if you use it as a retirement program, but you're trying to pull a lot more money out. You will be paying penalties on that. So with the proper planning, we design programs that are right for you, your situation. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different situation. And that's how these programs pretty much work. Next slide, please. There are great ways to save for retirement. And like I just mentioned, one was the IUL as an alternative to traditional retirement accounts. Life insurance benefits combined. And what's neat about programs as well, understand that when we get older, most of us are going to need long-term care. If you don't have it now, a lot of people say to me, well, I'll get that down the road. And chances are when you wait to get it down the road, it's going to be very expensive for you. Long-term care policies anywhere from $600, $700, $800 a month. So I always try to encourage my clients to get into them while you're young, while you're healthy. It's not costing you as much to get into this type of programs. When I say long-term care, I'm talking about programs that will cover Alzheimer's, heart attack, stroke, cancer, having a nurse. And most of these programs that I do provide will pay you a monthly income just to handle that particular situation. And they will pay that up to 50 months or until your situation becomes better. So life insurance benefits combined with cash value is one aspect, important part of that. Tax-free income through policy loans and withdrawal. So those are some of the benefits we're looking at. The IULs are the top ones. You want these benefits. These are not on your whole life program, certainly not on the term program. Okay. My closing is retirement success begins with informed choices. And you want to know what your choices are. We don't have to settle. What's unfortunate right now that most of women retire with a lot less income than most men do. And that's unfortunate. And then I can take it a step further. Our Black women are really retired with low income at a high rate. So we really want to change. That's why when you guys hear me say, I want to take it to the street, to the community, take it to where it needs to be, that's what I'm talking about, because we have to make change. We got to do better. And I think about my parents when they retired, they're on a fixed income. And a lot of these people don't have Social Security to fall back on. So you have to work on building your retirement. It is something you have to focus on doing. Okay? Because you're going to be the one to retire at age 65, if not sooner or later. Okay? And you want to make sure that I have more income at the end that I can, income that's going to outlive me. That's really what the goal is, to have more income at the end of the rainbow. You should be in a better situation when you retire. That means you have debt, your kids are grown, and hopefully your mortgage is paid off. So you can retire on your terms the way you want to retire and not have to worry about going taking another job working someplace else. Okay. And I'm almost done. Combining the income, tax advantages, and growth strategies. These are the that's going to get you where you need to be. So start planning now to retire on your terms with peace of mind. And this is what I tell my teachers right here. Okay. You only get one shot at this. One shot. Okay, because you're not going to be able to go backwards because we've been here. So you get one shot at your retirement, do it right, and don't screw it up. Thank you. My name is Opa Jean Price. This is my information. It's been a pleasure. So, Anna? Is Anna paying?
Wow, what an incredible presentation. Thank you very much, Opa. Again, lots and lots of very good information. And I've got a couple of questions myself for Opa, but thank you very much. And now Anna is going to start getting to the real, to show us how attentive people were. So this is Anna's thing. So Anna, go for it. We can't hear you, Anna. Okay, go ahead. Anna, you have to unmute. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up. I see thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have some questions in the chat, but was this some great information? I see it sparked some interest of, yes, I see some questions. Yes, I see them. I see them. So let me get the questions in the chat, and then I do see a hand. I think I want to do the hand first because you have questions. Linda, my girl, Linda. Linda.
Hello, hello, hello.
Unmute yourself.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have an interest in IULs. IULs. I've been away from the chamber now about a couple of years, and whole lots of things have changed and progressed and been blessed and got a lot of discretionary income that I need to put someplace. So I have an IUL that I've had for 3 years now, but it is an IUL Express. So that's my question to Opal. Is your company's IULs titled IUL Express? And if it is, does the death benefit increase with it?
Well,
Unmute yourself. Okay, there you go.
okay, I did. Our index universal, you have to understand what the face amount, unless you have option B, the face amount is not going to increase on an IUL. Okay. It will now, if you have A, it's going to grow. I usually do B for younger clients. If I have a client that's older trying to achieve a high face amount or focus on the cash, then I would do A. But B is usually when it will grow. In this program I'm talking about, when it's time to retire, the policyholder, if anything happens to you, the beneficiary will not only your retirement amount, but they will also get the cash value. It's an index program. But normally the face amount will increase if you in a regular UL. If you have option B, that means your cash is growing and the face amount is going to increase at the same time.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And what company is it with?
I'm with NLG,
Yeah.
FFS.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Look at there. You
So
got
you,
Linda.
go ahead.
I was saying you got Linda all sparked up. I love it. I love it, Linda, and it's so good to see my sister all the time. So that was some great information that you shared. So definitely connect with Oprah, so she can help you to structure everything so you'll be ready, my sister. Anybody else have some questions? Let me see your hand, because all I seen in the chat was Linda's. Hold on, now wait a minute. I see Darlene said awesome information. And then Lorraine had a question. Is the health underwriting
It's
requirement
there. It's
to get
there.
a IUL?
Is there a health
It
requirement?
really,
Is
well, right
there?
now,
Thank you.
okay, is there health underwriting?
Mm-hmm.
It depends. If you're up in age and have medical issues, but most of those companies going to underwrite. They're going to look at your health situation. Now, the one that I talked about that has benefits, long-term care, cancer, stroke, heart attack, and all of that, they are going to do underwriting on that. And I can tell you that if you have that situation, just depending on whether you had cancer, let's say you had cancer 10 years ago, you would still be considered to apply for it. But most of your company's going to underwrite. If you are a certain age, we don't do, there's no method. That means we're not sending you out to a nurse to get examined or to a hospital and not coming to you. So a lot of companies today are doing what they call non-med. You don't have to do a physical.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
Opa, there's just a follow-up question. So if you're looking at the candidate, because you're talking about the requirements for health and maybe not. So what is an ideal candidate look like for this particular program? Should you start early? Is it 30s? I mean,
Well,
what
you
is
know,
it?
me, I'm gonna always tell you to start early because I know starting early, you come out of pocket with less money. You're healthy, you're in a good position. Okay, so early is always going to be the key, especially if you're going to use that for retirement. I do have 60-year-olds. I have 70-year-olds that are applying for these programs. And it just means that they do have to come out of pocket with a little bit more money. And they will still get those benefits. But let's say that they have a health condition that I know that being a diabetic, it would be hard for them to get there depending on whether they're on insulin or the pill. Okay, but companies will look at your medical history and your situation there. So if you're a young person, and I have plenty of young that are using this for retirement, and it's unbelievable. I have a young man that's 28 years old. He's putting away $200 a month in this program, and he's got a $200,000 face amount. He will be able to pay himself at age 56, 57. He'll have close to $1 million saved in that program. So it depends on what you want to use it for. If you're using it for retirement or you're using it to cover your assets, it just really depends on what you want to do and how you want to use it.
Well, awesome. Awesome. That's great information. You got your hand up again, Lorraine?
Yeah, follow-up question. Are the contributions that you would be putting in, say that young man who's 28 years old, is that tax deductible? Are the contribution tax deductible or taxed or how
Tax-free.
or tax-free? The
Yeah,
contribution.
let me just, the death benefit is always going to be tax-free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that we use this for retirement is
Right.
because think about when I'm saving my money, it all depends on how is it coming out to me. Okay. And the unique thing about these programs is when you start to take a retirement check, it is tax-free. Okay. And we have the investment sides, which are in a tax-deferred annuity. The great thing about those is you have bonuses on that. If you're not bonuses on your money when you know, drop it in, you know, I talk about credit unions all the time. They'll send you a flyer to come in and get bonuses on the money that more new money you're gonna put there. Okay,
Mhm.
but you want bonuses on all the money you have sitting there. That's what you really want. So, but the way you take the income, let's this 35-year-old gets down to be 65 years old, and they start to take retirement income, you know, they're not going to pay taxes on that because it comes to you in the form of a check. Now, if you
That's
say,
great.
I've got $300,000 or $400,000 sitting there at age 65, and I want to pull that money out and do something with it, then you're going to pay taxes on that because you've taken it, you're doing a personal withdrawal to yourself.
Right. It's not for retirement. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome, great information. So I'm gonna turn it back in the hands of Lorraine if it's no other question.
I think Jean
Linda
had it.
has another question. Do your program have a sign-up bonus?
I think there are other questions in the chat for the other presenters as well.
Linda asked her questions.
Okay.
Depending, I have about 15 different programs, okay? So depending on what program you want to get in, if you're just investing into a deferred annuity, I have one program that has a 25% bonus on it. I have others at 15% bonus. It really just depends.
On the IUL,
Pardon me?
sign up on the IUL. Do you have a sign
No,
up
there's
bonus?
no bonus on those programs are what you call index strategy. That means that they're your money's constantly growing and you can see what you're investing into. 100% of your investment is going to the strategizing, and what your S&P 500 is what you're dealing with. There are guarantees on your money that you'll never lose your money. Okay, but money will grow. You will be surprised at how that money grows. Typically the IUL will grow a lot faster than the annuities, but it just depends on what you put money into. The annuities have their own mix on them. And so one of the strategies I use is if I'm doing a annuity, and let's say you're getting a 15% bonus on that annuity when you're growing, it's called the growth. Then when you're ready to take possession of that money, I show you how to drop it into another program to get an additional 25% on. And you can leave that money for 30 days and then you can take income.
Mm-hmm.
So each one has its own strategy.
Okay.
Jean, you had a question?
I have a question about fixed annuities. And what's the difference between a fixed annuity and deferred annuities?
A fixed annuity has a fixed interest rate.
Yes.
And the fixed amount that you put into it. Okay. So it's just a fixed annuity, fixed interest rate and fixed annuity. Tax deferred annuity means that it's tax deferred. Depending on what program you get into, that money is still deferred. But when you get ready to take possession of it, the only way you get around taxes on those dollars is if you're taking it in a form of a check. So, you know, if a person puts, let's have a regular 401k or 403b, okay? And you want to take as income, depending on how that is set up. Well, you got $300,000 that you're investing into an annuity, and you're looking to take income from that annuity every year. It's not going to be long that money's going to be gone. Okay, but these programs are designed to pay you for the rest of your life. It's just like the teachers' pensions. It will pay them the rest of their life. So, and it will pay all the way up to age 120. So I doubt if any of us will get to age 120, but that's what I talk about, having your money to outlive you.
Yeah,
That's the part.
that's great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anna, there's a question on the chat. How do you identify what are the best stocks to invest in? And I think that's for Pauline. Pauline,
Yes, I'm
the
here.
question is, how do you identify what are the best stocks to invest in? you're dealing with folks that like say are brand new. So what do you tell them?
The best stocks to invest in are companies that has been around for at least 50 years. These are solid businesses. For instance, like Boeing. Everyone knows Boeing. Everyone knows Johnson & Johnson. These companies have been around for many, many years. But not just only old companies, new companies as well. Because now we've got AI companies. And everyone is worried about these companies taking away our jobs. So one of the finest AI company is Microsoft. Everybody knows Microsoft. And Microsoft also has as well the annual premium plan, where they're constantly asking you to pay roughly $100 a month. And Microsoft stock has done very, very well recently. So if you're worried about losing your job due to AI, Microsoft company has been around for quite some time and it has done very well. Another company that's also doing very well is IBM. IBM pays a fabulous dividend. So that's what you do. Think about what is happening. We're now in the fourth revolution where things are changing so rapidly. It's unbelievable. And you must invest in one of these companies that are taking your jobs away. Don't panic about your jobs. Invest in the companies that are taking your jobs.
Thank you, Pauline. There's a question
There was
also for
another
Karen.
question. Yeah, there was another question for Karen. Let me
Right.
just go back. I'm sorry, I'm working two screens and just moving kind of slow. 1 second. Let me go back to the question for you, Karen, okay? I think it asked about okay. What is the main difference between a will and a living trust?
Thank you, Anna. With a will is vague. It can be contested. Oftentimes, wills are outdated. They do not include all of a person's assets. And also, a will does not protect you from probate. It does not protect you from your creditors. With a trust is specific. It lists a detailed information about how you want your assets distributed. And generally, the executor of your trust is the person who divides the assets amongst the beneficiaries. So you're ensured that your assets will be divided through your executor. Your heirs also can receive a step up in cost basis as far as, like, say you transfer property into your trust. And there's no inheritance tax.
Wow. Awesome. Thanks, Karen. Any other questions?
We have another question. Who should have a will or a living trust?
Anyone with assets, anyone with children, heirs. Oftentimes you may have, say, a great aunt. Maybe she didn't have children, but she has a favorite niece or nephew that she wants to leave her property to. I personally recommend it for everyone nowadays because people are leaving this earth at a very young age. Death is no longer, labeled amongst the elders. So
Right.
you look at the different, and I mean, I don't want to bring celebrities into it, but look at the different people who have passed and, I mean, in their 20s and 30s and 40s and don't have anything in place. So Michael Jackson, now he had a trust, but he did not fund his trust. So that's why at this point in time, his heirs are having to go through a legal battle and, court procedure to obtain his assets and to make sure that his assets are distributed. fairly,
Wow.
the way that he wanted them to be distributed.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay, so if we do not have any more questions, now we'd like to take this time to invite our guests to provide a 30-second pitch, not 30 minutes, 30-second pitch about yourself and your business. And let's see, I guess we'll start first with Linda Morgan. You want to unmute yourself, Linda, and tell us about yourself and your business?
Sure. My name is Linda Morgan Sam. I am an executive virtual consultant who is an expert proofreader. You can see my logo back there. Have been doing it for a minute. These are eagle eyes. When they ever get big like this and you see me, know that something's happening because they activate. And I have learned to walk in this purpose of my eyes being expert proofreader.
Mm.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank
And thank you for being with us this evening. Next, we have Jean. You want to unmute yourself, Jean? And share with us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Jean Clary. I'm a retired teacher, and I'm looking to start investing in stock. I want to start with something simple, like maybe a food stock, and something that's opposite. And I'm also thinking about getting into travel advising, and I appreciate these webinars because I learned so much. And before I retired, I made sure I paid up everything, all the credit cards and all of that. So I'm doing pretty good. I can afford to take care of all my bills right now on my retirement, but I'm looking for the future. Everything is just looking so insecure. So I want to do something. That's why I'm considering the travel industry. But anyway, I do appreciate it. And also I looked at the fixed annuity. But I don't know where to start because when I first checked out fixed annuities, it was with very low interest. This is like 1%. And I said, well, that's not worth it. But anyway, that's basically who I am and where I am financially.
Well, we thank you, Jean, and thank you for being a loyal attendee to our financial team webinars. And next we have Michael Oliver Armstrong. Would you like to unmute yourself? Tell us about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Oliver Armstrong. I'm a former County of Los Angeles employee, worked as an accountant for over 40 years. Now I'm an insurance agent. I'm also a travel advisor. I'm also an actor, and I just started a nonprofit organization. And I'm a fundraiser also for the fire survivors from Altadena. Pasadena is my hometown, and it was heartbreaking to see that my hometown has been burnt to the ground. Looks like somebody put a bomb on it, just dropped a big bomb on it, and all the houses are burned down. And like I said, it's heartbreaking. So I've what I'm going to do is raise funds for the people who are that hopefully they don't lose their houses and they keep that integrity. It was mostly on the west side, that is, well, west of Lake is mostly Black families that lost their homes. And like I said, I do have a nonprofit, and I definitely need to talk to the Queen as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I love the fact that you have multiple income streams going on. That's what it's about nowadays. And I thank you. We thank you for your service to the fire victims, Altadena. Very tragic, and just happy to see more people stepping up and volunteering and helping those in need. So thank you. Appreciate you. Imani Moses. You want to unmute yourself? Did she drop off?
No, she's still there, but she's not unmuted. I brought up Tanya, so go ahead and get
Okay.
Tanya.
Okay. You have the floor, Tanya.
I was going to say, am I a guest? My name is Tanya Mackey. I'm a financial consultant, registered rep. They call me the Wealth Accelerator because I help individuals reach their financial goals more faster, more efficiently, and without stress. I've been in the business 35 plus years, and I do wealth building. And I'm the founder of Women Worthy of Wealth, a wealth building club.
Beautiful. Love your hair. Glad you're part of the
Thank
financial.
you.
And do we have anyone else? Anyone else? Outside of the financial team? No?
You got everybody except for Imani. So Imani, if you can't talk, you can put your information in the chat for everyone.
Oh, she said she needed to step away.
But she did say that she wanted to join. She's my guest, and she did say she wanted to join the chamber. So whatever information can be put in the chat for her to get.
Well, you may want to put her in touch with Lorraine or Anna. And now we'd like to turn it back over to Lorraine for some final thoughts and comments.
Well, I just want to thank, first of all, the presenters for such excellent presentations. And one of the observations that I've made is that it doesn't matter how experienced you are or how experienced you feel you are because you've been doing this for so long, whether it's investing or whatever. When you come to these sessions, there's always something that you learn that you didn't know. Because learning is an ongoing process, and I am just always bowled over by the depth, the quality, and the skill of the presenters when we have these seminars. I mean, it's just amazing. And so I definitely want to thank all three of our presenters for their excellent work. I also want to thank all of our guests for coming. My faithful supporters that love this chamber, my friend Jean and Michael. I can always count on them, and they always tell me what great information they got. And also everyone else from the chamber, because we had a lot of other chamber members. Tanya is one of our newest members in the chamber, and maybe this time you're probably not doing anything. Believe me, now that I've got my eyes on you and I know your background, and Anna will definitely get you involved in presenting in our future webinars. I just want to say to all of the other members here, some of whom are just not necessarily team members, but members of the chambers, that there's just a lot of what we do here. Yes, we have monthly webinars. Sometimes they're not. They may be, as Open likes to say, getting out in the streets, whether it's a job fair, an expo, sessions where we get together, lunch and learns. So our chamber and our financial team is very, very active in the community. And now that you've experienced, many of you have experienced the quality of the presentations that we put together, I encourage you, even though you may be guests, to invite others. I love the idea that Tanya invited one of her friends to come, and that's how we get the word out. This is a very attractive format for many people because they can join us from the comfort of their own home. So, involve other folks. If our community is to expand and to grow and build generational wealth and all the things that we've talked about, we have to get the word out. And yeah, we're 8 members in our financial team, but with you guys each telling somebody else or 2 or 3 other friends when we have these webinars, you guys just got to come, give up an hour and come and listen to this team because they've got such good information for you. So I just want to again say thank you for the privilege of your time. And I'm just excited to be part of this chamber, and it's going on almost 5 years and I'm still excited. So thank you guys. And that's it from me, from our team. We ask all of our guests to sign off. The chamber members need to stay. The chamber financial team members need to stay because OPA is going to be debriefing us. Thank you guys.
For further action.
Bye, Jean.